So once you've got this kind of feedback, what do you do with it? You can obviously plan it into your teaching plan. You can choose what you think is good. You can keep having a look at it every so often, and you can look at it in the middle of the semester, at the end of the semester, keep checking to see if you've included all the feedback that they've given you. If you're in class, you can stick it on the wall, and you can keep looking at it and saying, well, you know, you wanted this, here we go, we're going to have some of this today. So you can keep referring to that. You can, for example, they may change their ideas about certain activities they like, so you can change the priorities as to what activities or methods you use, and you can keep discussing and negotiating with the students. If you're online, then you know you can put it up there into documents, Google Documents, and it will be there permanently for the whole class to refer to. Okay, yeah, so Google Sites, Google Forms, Padlet, word clouds, Answer Garden, if you remember that from How Are You Feeling Today. All of these are nice online apps that you can use to get your students' feedback. So if you're online, or if you're going to have a blended system in September, then you could use a mix of talking to them, but also getting them to write their answers to questionnaires, to menus, to sentences, sentence writing, STEM sentences. You can use Answer Garden, you can use word clouds, you can use Google Sites, Padlet, or Google Forms for all of these. And they will be up there permanently for all the students to see, and for you to see and keep checking into. Okay, we can close the chat box again now for a while, but it's nice to be seeing some of the feedback. That's really nice. Yeah, some of you said you used Padlet, you've used Word Garden, Word Clouds, Google Forms. That's excellent. Well done. Well done. I'm glad to hear that you've done well with those. Now, similarly, as you go on, you'll start teaching, and then we'll come to sort of halfway through the year, the end of the first semester, and we'll need more feedback to see how we've been going, how we've been doing. So why, again, why? To discover, first of all, if there are any issues, if there are any problems. Are the students having any problems? They may not even be aware that they have any problems. Sometimes if there's a lot of students in the class, and if some of them are shy, they may not share that they are having problems. So it's important to do a few activities where they share problems and discover about themselves and discover about each other. Again, they can work with a buddy, with a friend, who's going to help them to find out what they need more help with. They can analyze maybe the cause of their listening problems or their grammar problems. They can work on these things. They can maybe come up with options, their own options and solutions, or they can ask other groups, other students. This could be an activity, finding options, finding solutions, making perhaps a new action plan again, and eventually, as they go on in the second semester, evaluating any kind of improvement which they may have gained through these options and solutions. So it is important to keep constantly asking for feedback to see how students are doing. And they will tell you through these activities. So again, another messed up PowerPoint, but I'll help you through this one. One way of checking how students are doing halfway through the year is if they have a, some of you, we can put the chat box on again. If you want, you can share with us if you already do this. Some people ask students to keep a little journal or a little blog, and this can also be a little vlog. So it could be, they could video it and send it to you on WhatsApp, and you could again put it up on Zoom or Padlet or other Google Documents platforms. So things like, remember we talked about start of the day questions. It could be start of the semester questions. What am I looking forward to? What do I want to see? What do I want to feel? What do I want to hear? What do I want to listen to? Who do I want to listen to? So if we get them to, on a daily basis maybe, or a weekly basis, write down some start and end of questions at the start of every week and the end of every week, or the start of every month and the end of every month. By the end of the first semester, they will have a record either online or in their little paper journals, and they can share the progress that they've made, the changes that they've made from their feelings and their impressions at the beginning and their feelings later on. Learner-generated questionnaires are also very interesting. Instead of you writing a questionnaire, we ask each student to write one question about, let's say, the past semester or the next semester, just one question each student, and then everybody writes down the question. So each student dictates their question to the rest of the class. So by the end, if you have 30 students in a class, each student will have 30 questions to answer, and they will answer them, and you will find that the questions are sometimes as interesting as the answers. So you don't have to write any questions. They write their own questions, one per student, and then dictate their question to the rest of the class. Everybody writes them down, and in the end, they will have a big questionnaire to answer. Another interesting thing also, action plans. So if they've made action plans at the beginning, they're going to look at their action plans and see how far they've got. Wallpapers and posters, just getting them to draw how it's been so far, how they've enjoyed the lessons, what they remember from what lesson, what do they remember, what did they feel, what did they see, what did they hear, getting them to draw, to illustrate. And again, this could be done online, or it could be done on paper and shared on the screen or in the class. Maybe we could stick them up on the wall if we're in the classroom in February, and they can look over each other's and see what they remember visually from the semester. Another interesting activity is categorizing post-its. So getting everybody to write down perhaps either something they've learned, something they want to learn, a problem they've had, an activity that they enjoyed, an activity they didn't enjoy. So you think about before what you want them to write down. then they can write them down on little post-its like this, and then everybody can stick their post-its on the wall, or if you're online, they can write them up on Padlet, on Word Cloud, on Word Garden, and then together the next activity would be to categorize them. So putting similar problems together, similar activities together, categorizing them and kind of making different groups of these are the activities we found difficult, these are the activities that we found enjoyable, this is where these are our problems, and sort of together you come up with a little post-it category map of how we can move forward, what we can learn from what we've done so far. And the last activity there, I'm trying to read it myself, but I'm finding problems with that. Anyway, oh yes, it's speed dating, you know, like in America and places like that, people go to meet somebody and the ladies sit at the table and the gentlemen move around and they get 3 minutes to talk to everybody, and then the ladies and the gentlemen decide if this is a potential friend for them. So it's called speed dating. It all happens very quickly. And this is adapted to English language teaching, again, getting them maybe to find a new buddy, a new friend that they can, so speed dating for someone who can help them, work with them, do homework together, do projects together, which will be perhaps a different buddy to the one they had at the beginning. So yeah, speed dating, finding someone who has the same goals as you, finding someone who has the same problems as you in English language teaching. You don't have to use the word speed dating, obviously. It's just a name for an activity where different students get to talk to different students very, very quickly for a minute or two and find a new buddy who is going to work and support them in English language teaching. Okay, another activity which we can do, in no surprise, is the same activity that I asked you to do. Some of your students may not understand what this is about, but some may. It might be worth trying out with some of your slightly older teenagers. And not I am a car and I am a teacher, but I am a car and I'm a learner. The same questions that I asked you, but you would be asking them, and they could either discuss this in breakout groups, or they could discuss this online on Zoom, or they could discuss this on Skype, they could discuss this on Padlet. There are lots of different ways in which you can do this, or in the classroom. Same kind of questions, and see what they say, see how they interpret it. Okay. So again, at the end of the first semester, the beginning of the second semester, you've done some more feedback activities, you've got some more feedback. Again, what are you going to do? You can adapt it, all of it, into your new teaching plan for the second semester. You can choose what you want. You can iClamuck it. You can file it. You can put it on Google Documents and keep it there for when you need it. Again, you can prioritize and decide what is more important or not, or you can keep coming back and discussing it with the students further. And again, you can either do this on paper, on the wall, or you can use technology and keep all the feedback online in the cloud. Okie dokie. Right, so we're coming now to the last section of our feedback session. It's a bit shorter, the session today, which is good because we started a bit later. So why do we ask for feedback at the end? Why do you think we would ask students for feedback at the end? And what kind of feedback do we want at the end? Do we want them to tell us they love us, or are there more reasons why we would ask? Yeah, to improve ourselves would be a very important one, to evaluate what we've done, what we could do better. That's right. At the very end of the semester, at the very end of, what we need, the whole process exactly needs to be evaluated, the outcomes we need to look at. And as you can see, hopefully, we will be evaluating not just the results, not just the English results. We'll also be evaluating the emotions that the students felt and how they feel at the end of the year, and also the whole process that we used throughout the year. So we're looking at results, we're looking at emotions, we're looking at the process we use, and this is what we call the triangle of satisfaction, if all of those are good at the end. Another reason why we ask for feedback at the end is we want students to go out on a high. We want to celebrate any kind of success, all kinds of success. We want to improve our teaching plans, our approaches, obviously, for the next year. We want to maybe feedback to admin, to administration, important changes that we think should be made in the whole teaching process, and also to help us to improve ourselves in our continuous professional development. And so, what kind of activities? I don't know if you do any of these activities. The first one is posters, missing its P there, but asking students to again draw what they remember of the whole year. Does anybody ask their students to draw posters? Yes, getting them to say, yes, I did it right. That's nice. Word clouds is a nice idea. Yeah, they're there. So drawing posters online or on paper, acrostics. So an acrostic, if we look at the next slide, that's an acrostic. So for example, just writing that word feedback from top to bottom and asking students to give you a word beginning with F that they remember from, for example, well, we'll do this together with you. For example, can you remember anything beginning with F? Or can you think of a word beginning with F to describe today's session? Feeling, yes, I've talked about feelings today. Fascinating, friendly, fast, lovely, fundamental, funny, brilliant, well done. Can you think of now words beginning with E to describe this webinar today? E, emotions, enjoyable, exciting, energetic, lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, lovely jubbly. So hopefully you're feeling good, I'm feeling good. Words beginning with D. D, D, D. Some of you are jumping already. Yeah, delightful, nice, nice. Demonstrative, digestive, dynamic. Wow, we've got a lot of words there. Brilliant. B, beginning with B. B, 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 B. No. Brilliant. Okay, brave, best. Hey, wow, it's going so fast, isn't it? Brilliant. Okay, well done. A, words begin with A. Active, ambitious, amazing, awesome, attractive. C. C, 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 C. creative, colorful. I'm trying to read very, very fast here. Speed reading. This is marvelous. Speed reading. Creative, creative. Charming, cute, cheerful, crazy. Yes, absolutely. And K. Can anyone think of a word beginning with K? Apart from kick? No. Yes, exactly. Knopf. Knowledge. Knowing. Kinesthetic. Well done. Brilliant. Kind. Nice. Well done. Well done. Excellent. Knowledgeable. Lovely. All right. So I'm now getting a little echo, but we're just finishing off. Word clouds, again, are ways of getting feedback from students, getting them to write those little letters for the next class, getting them to do a snowball discussion. So, for example, each student writes 5 feelings I'll take away with me, and then they pair up with another student, and so one student has 5 and another student has 5, that's 10, and they have to discuss and negotiate, and they have to choose only 5 between them. And then this pair gets together with this pair, so now we have 4 students again with 5 words and 5 words, so now we have 10 words again, and again they have to discuss and negotiate and choose only a final 5. So you can do that 1 student, then 2 students, then 4 students, then even 8 students, and so it snowballs, and in the end those are the feelings that they will take away from the year with them. You can again use student generated questionnaires. They can write their own question, share it with the class and answer it, and you can also ask them to prepare PowerPoint presentations of how their year has been. So again, this is useful, powerful feedback, which we can keep, hopefully, somewhere in a paperless form online, discuss it with colleagues. Maybe students can put it in an online portfolio and keep it forever, and it will give you a lot of content to reflect about. And this is how we develop ourselves, and this is also how students really appreciate being asked, what did you think? What did you like? What didn't you like? What would you like? What wouldn't you like? When they feel that they have a say, when they feel that they have some kind of control, they will work with you so much better, and they will be so much more motivated, especially if they can use these kind of online free applications as well that we've mentioned before. And all this information will be stored for them to see, for you to see, for parents to see, for the school administration to see. So it will be very open, transparent, and hopefully very useful. So thank you, guys. Thank you very much.